Hey everyone, how are you? It's Jane McLeod, and we are live today, and I'm broadcasting live to you from Tempe, Arizona, where I'm working for a couple of weeks. Not a bad gig, actually, as you can tell from the natural sunlight streaming through the window that I am not in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan today, where it is, however, I hear lovely, sunny, and 35, so kind of warm, actually. So what we're going to talk about today is making your best marketing tactic actually you and your employees, your team. Okay, because let's face it, billboards, marketing strategies, radio ads are all incredibly expensive. I mean, I remember clearly as a senior leader for my organization when we were trying to decide how many billboards we were gonna rent. You know, it was the monthly fee for a billboard was just astronomical, and radio ads and stuff like that can really add up to. And you know what? It really, really, really doesn't do any good, which we found out with our own organization, and improving our employee engagement actually gave us the best value. So, you know, there's a problem in this is twofold, right? How do you get people to stay with you, right? Recruit and retain those really high performing people and focus on keeping them in today's work environment past 1 to 3 years is really, really key. And I was speaking with an HR leader just the other day, and her organization has a strategy to really focus on those between 1 and 3 year people. And guess what else you're doing between 1 and 3 years is you're teaching people what your culture is, and really, you know, kind of embroiling them in the culture. The second thing is making your customers love you. Simon Sinek has a great quote that says, nobody will love your business until your employees love it first. So this talk is really twofold on, you know, using your employees as a marketing strategy, in that you got to get them in the door. You got to get the right people in the door on the bus, engage them, use that as rocket fuel, and then you never, ever have a worry about how much you're going to need for billboards, right? How much money you're going to need for billboard. So let's talk about you as a person, and have you ever walked into a business where you could immediately sense that there was just an amazing, over-the-top work environment, that employees liked each other, it was a team that really worked well together, they were having fun, not too much fun, not where they're ignoring you as the customer, but they loved their work, it gave them great purpose, they were loyal to their employer, and you could just feel it. Right? You could just feel it. The same is true if you walk into a place where there's unrest, where there's some toxic work environment, where people aren't engaged to do their job. Maybe they roll their eyes. It's a chore to have to wait on you as the customer. You know, it's not fun. So one hand, you're like, I want to work here. Maybe I'll be a Starbucks barista when I grow up. Who knows, right? On the other hand, you know, it's like, oh man, like I never want to do that job because quite obviously it's not any fun. Okay. So, and what you got to get your employees to remember is that everyone they meet in their daily life is either a future patient, okay, or a future employee. Isn't that true? Everyone in your community is either a future patient or family member, a customer, if you will, or a future employee. And so what does that mean for them? I'll tell you what that means for them, right? So how do you solve this? 2 ways. Sorry, Cindy Chicker. 2 ways, right? Making your culture really your brand, right? Your culture is your brand. And so what Joe Tide tells us in the Florence prescription is that people need to be taught that that there is this invisible infrastructure in your organization that people can feel, and you can put a fountain in your lobby, you can decorate it with cute plants, you can do all these things, but how people treat each other is way more important to the people who are walking into your building than any of that. They want to know they are being treated by friends and family, right? Treated like friends and family by those people who like each enough enough to be considered friends with each other. So your culture is that invisible infrastructure that people feel as soon as they walk into your building. And sometimes employees don't realize that. So number one tactic that you got to go at, and you can do this whether you have influence in your organization, and I see my friend, senior leader Susan Sliger is with me. She definitely has influence over this in her organization, or whether you're a frontline leader and you only have, the influence over your own department. This goes for both, guys. It goes for both. How do you teach employees that they are marketing? That the culture, how people treat each other, how people enjoy their work is really key to having a very successful organization, both department and organization. So, what it comes down to is explaining the mission, vision, values of the organization to your employees, but don't just hang it on the wall and expect that they're automatically going to absorb it through osmosis because they walk by the picture every day or by the sign every day. That doesn't happen. All right. But if you meet one-on-one with your employees through rounding and you say, we have a mission statement, and this is actually an organization in Michigan's mission statement. It's beautiful, and it's very simple, very well written. It's extraordinary care throughout the generations, right? This is an organization that wants to take care of people from birth to death. Extraordinary care throughout the organizations. But extraordinary is a huge word, right? So if you ask your employees, what does extraordinary mean to you? What do you do every day to be extraordinary? They're going to say, extraordinary? Geez, I'm doing my best here. Like, I do my best. I care. I come to work. What do you want from me, people, right? But what does extraordinary mean to them? What does it look like? Paint a picture. And soon I actually had to do this for that particular organization, in talking with nurses' aides, in talking with x-ray techs. Do you do these things? Do you explain to people what it is that you're doing while you're doing it? When you answer a call light, do you say these words? Or when people are asking you, what the heck is going on around here? Why are you guys building so many buildings or whatever, which is what, my employees had to answer all the time. It was like, well, this is what we're doing. But I had to teach that. You have to teach that as a leader. Don't expect people to just know what their internal purpose is for being, because some people simply cannot state it. They simply cannot state it. So take some time, add it as a rounding question, take some time to round on people and say, hey, this is what we got going on in the organization. What does that mean to you? What can you do? The second tactic is what we refer to as WOMP, the word of mouth program. So have you ever had a job that you hated? Like, you stinking hated this job. Who do you vent to? You vent to your friends and family, right? Usually, if we truly hate something and we're having a really, really tough time in our life, we don't just go home and tell the hubby or the furry friend or, someone that lives in our immediate household. Usually, we tell others, close family and friends. So that negativity, maybe you get over your hatred of your job, maybe something happens, maybe it was temporary, maybe it's chronic and persistent, whatever it is, but you might get over it, but that negativity lasts in the minds of others. And Decisions are still made 66% of the time about healthcare based on word of mouth. And whether or not you are a leader or a registered nurse or a physician or an HR executive, it doesn't matter what you do for your organization. What you say about it matters. And what you say about it is key. And so one of our brilliant organizations in Platteville, Wisconsin, Southwest Health Center, actually gave us this idea. And now many of our organizations have cased it, copy and steal everything, but make it yours and make it better. It began with a CEO who knew that he had to pay for a really expensive tower that he built on the side of his hospital, and he had to pay through a brand new orthopod that cost him a lot of money that he had just recruited. And so all he did is he set a goal called word of mouth, and he asked his employees for help. He said, would you tell 10 family and friends of your family and friends about these new orthopedic services that we have coming to our hospital? And then when your family and friends react to that, will you come back and tell me? And he made himself available to them. You know, if people love their job, love where they work, love the work environment, know their purpose and how they're fulfilling a mission, and telling 10 friends and family about what's going on in your organization and the great place where they work, is one key thing that you can teach them how to do. It's, you know, hey, did you guys know that we're building a new parking ramp across the street from the hospital, and there's going to be a walkway so that you don't have to walk in the snow to go get your labs drawn, and you can park your car in shelter so that it's, you know, safe and dry for you when you get out. Did you know that we're doing that? That's what that building is, going up across the street. It's like, wow, cool. Somebody actually thought about the patient when they were doing that. And just challenge them. Tell people something good. When your staff comes to you and like, we're so short staffed, nobody wants to work here, blah, 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 what are you doing about it? What could you do to recruit people to work here? And it's not just nurses and physicians, right? Everybody, every position that's filled is the wind beneath our wings. That every position that's filled is somebody that'll make a difference in patient care at your organization. So you can do this in your sphere of influence. It can either be at the department level or at the org level, but two things. First, teach people what's going on, what goals are being worked on, what the mission, vision, values are, and what their personal role is, what they do to make things great or extraordinary. Second, wampum, right? Word of mouth. Let them know that word of mouth is really important, and that, yes, we could get more business potentially if we had an 8th billboard on a highway, but that's not likely. It actually lies with them. So talk to us, people. We love to talk to you people. If you are going to work within your sphere of influence, we have 2 e-learning classes for you. If you've been a leader less than 2 years, we have a new e-learning offering. It's called the New Leader Bootcamp, an all-online course with one-on-one coaching by Sue or I throughout a course of 10 months. And then we also have the Greatness Course, which has been in existence for over a year, has had its first graduating class, but the Greatness Course is going on. Anybody can sign up at any time. Go to our website, click on the banner. Whitney, who I see has joined, is going to post information and a comparison between what we teach during the Greatness Course and the New Leader Bootcamp. So I hope you'll join us virtually or see you next week in Fans of the Framework. Bye, guys.